Like we in the
house.
So today's episode, we will be touching on all things family. So, basically,
Y'all, this is my wonderful sibling.
stop touching me. Anyways, what do you know about your family tree? If you know anything.
I know that those are my cousins and my family members on that tree.
Okay.
What do you know about yours?
Well, I know that my mom's siblings are their children are my cousins, and then their kids are first cousins to me.
Who's your second cousin?
That would be my grandmother's siblings' children.
Who's your fourth cousin twice removed?
Great grandmother's.
You're wrong.
Siblings.
Wrong.
Siblings.
Wrong.
You don't even know shit about nothing. So how are you gonna say what I know and what I'm wrong about?
You never finished explaining either.
You never finished explaining anything.
I never said I knew
What do
anything
you know?
either.
Do you know anything?
I said my cousins are my cousins. That's how I grew up.
What kind of cousins? First cousins, second cousins, third cousins, twice removed?
I wasn't raised
Great
on.
uncles.
I wasn't raised on titles as such as that. It was, this is your cousin such and such, and nice to meet you all. Like, you know, or that's that.
So y'all was basic.
There's nothing basic about a walker.
Okay. Where did you originate?
What does Nebraska have to do with this?
Look, the people need to know.
What do they? Y'all, in Nebraska, just like anywhere else, I'm pretty sure there are plenty more people who don't know the whole dynamics of how a family tree works. So I'm not alone in this game. XaPariis, for some odd reason, knows all. How many cousins would you say you have?
A lot. The Smiths are a huge family in Mangum, Louisiana. Shout out to the Smiths.
What is Louisiana? I
Spell
thought you was
Nebraska.
from Houston.
Spell Nebraska.
So what, your family originates from?
Mangum,
I thought
Louisiana.
I thought they originated
Stop
from.
thinking.
No, because this is what you tell the people. You tell the people that you're originally from
I've never
Houston.
told these people anything.
If y'all get in these comments, I want y'all to tell us where XaPariis has said she is.
I'm born and raised in Houston. I said the Smith family is from Mangum.
You have also told the people that your family is from Houston, isn't it Alabama?
Never said that. Now you're spreading gay rumors.
I'm a gay liar, y'all.
Do you think your daddy know anything about this?
Probably so.
We'll call your fucking daddy.
You call him.
Why am I even here? Why you just like? Why y'all like? It's every time. Even on the phone, like
What do you know about your family tree?
What is we here for? Like, why
We're
am I
talking-
here? Why did y'all
Can
call
you
me?
explain it to him, Big
Can you
Zach?
stop touching me?
No.
Yes.
I love
That's
you.
nasty.
What's nasty?
Stop touching me.
No, I
Do you know about ancestral tree? Do you know about your first cousin, your second cousins?
Yeah, I know about all that. I know about all my family. I mean, I'm from the South. I know my family. I know
Who's
my,
your fourth cousin twice removed?
ain't nobody doing all that today. Fourth cousin, twice a week, all that bullshit. Who told y'all that?
That's what we're talking about. You
I don't know about no fourth cousin, twice removed, moved, fifth cousin. I know that I know my grandma had about 11 siblings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know her mother, her dad. I know the dad and mothers outside, brothers and sisters and stuff like that. I know my grandmother's cousins and all of that. And then if you go from there and bring it all the way down to me and my first cousins, I know them. And that's only because I'm from the South. Like when we have funerals, family reunions, most important people birthdays, stuff like that, we all go to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, or either we'll go to Natchitoches, Louisiana, and everybody that I just mentioned is literally there.
So upon introduction, are you being introduced to your family like as their
Cousin.
real? Oh.
That's cousin. I got so many cousins. It's cousin. I know they my cousin. I know who their mama is. I know who their daddy is. I know who their kids is. And then, but the kids, I don't really know them like that. They have to know me. just like a lot of my aunties and all this kind of stuff, sometimes the older ones don't really know me. They know my mama. And then they look at me and they say, you the real son, ain't you? And I'm like, I look like
Okay.
why? Why y'all asking that like, and why the hell are y'all looking like that?
Because I'm trying to understand.
Right.
Because I thought you said before you knew.
I'm allergic to my children. What?
You're allergic to us.
What did you say?
To you, you're a half child.
Repeat your question.
You told us before that you didn't know your family tree like that. So.
I do, but I'm not gonna go through the. Let me tell you something. Did you
Who's
hear
the
what I
second
just?
cousin?
Don't ask me that shit. What did I just say? My grandmother's mother had 12 kids.
You said 11.
11 or something like that. 12 kids. So something like that is an extra one. What is going on? Okay, 12.
Where
She
the
had 12 children. She like y'all trying to put me on or something. But like I said, like she had 12 children. But when you look at those 12 children, for some reason in my bloodline, everybody has a lot of kids. I'm number 2 of 8. You see what I'm saying? So that's a lot of motherfuckers. You want me to try to come? Oh, we can say this is YouTube, but they don't
So
like
how
it.
many
Keep your kids.
How many kids does your aunt have? So your mom's sister.
My mom's sister. Oh, okay, my mom's sister. Well, my mom, she really out there. So I guess that's what she got. She got 5 baby dads. Agent. That's none of y'all business. One aunt has 3. She has 3 boys, and the oldest. That's weird. The oldest has 3 girls. The second has 3 boys, and then my mama. She got 6 boys and 2 girls. So that's why Isha Ebony so rough.
Now she got a string.
Oh, no. Because just in case any girl want to come up on her.
All right, y'all. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Milan Juicy Couture West. Some of y'all know her from being on that ballroom floor with those long ass, beautiful legs. But I also want to let y'all know she does some fabulous work doing interior designing. So I want her to come up here and tell us a little bit more about herself and also join in on our conversation. Come on, Milan.
Yeah. Well, hi, Milan.
Hey, y'all.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good. You look great.
Oh, thank you. You look amazing.
Oh.
So today we are just having casual conversations about family.
Okay.
What do you know about the family tree?
Not much. Not mine. Not much. I know my granddad, my grandmother and grandfather's kids and their kids, and it stops about right there.
Okay.
I mean, of course, I've met other family members, but we're not so heavily close and connected. Yeah, and it's only just my mom's parents. I'm still getting to know my dad. I have a stepdad, but my father's still getting to know his side.
Okay. So when it comes down to like the breakdown, when you were being introduced, if you can recall, to family members, if they like put the actual label like, oh, this your second cousin removed, or this your great uncle. No, never.
No, it gets a little interesting. From my understanding, it gets a little interesting, and at some point I just didn't want to keep up. Like, I'll be honest, I just didn't want to keep up with it because they are in Milledgeville, Georgia. They're in Houston, and Detroit. So, yeah, it's we're a little spread.
Wait, that brings me to where are you originally from?
I'm from Shreveport.
You're from Shreveport, but where is your father from?
They're all from Shreveport.
Everyone's from Shreveport?
My mom was born in Detroit. My dad and my father, stepdad, I don't call him stepdad. My dad is from Shreveport. My father is from Shreveport.
So your mom being born in Detroit, that's where that other family, that the majority of that spread family is from, right?
My grandfather family is in Detroit. Oh, I forgot Jersey too.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
See, the only reason I ask those questions, I like to ask questions like that, is because it makes me understand of why somebody from the South would not kind of be like knowing their family to the point to where they like, look, I know my cousins, I know my mom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the South, we know my granny, sister, blah, 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 because down here, we're so raised, you still have a side of your family that's from the, you know,
I mean, my folks, like we had family reunions every year, and it was always fun. But when they came, it's just like, okay, we walked through the gate, we already know you family. It just didn't register to me to be like, okay, so you whose son, who daughter, like it didn't click. And even when it was explained, it was so much distance between my uncles and aunts and their kids that I was just like, that's a lot of folks to keep up with, because my great grandmother had 12 kids, and they lived in Grand Cane, Louisiana, and so it's a lot. It's a lot, and even with my after my father passed, what happened? We're all family here.
Yeah, don't be under your breath.
What's good?
Because Paris is over here trying to check me, and I said, "Don't talk to me."
See what I'm saying? Nobody wins when the family feuds.
Yeah, I like that though.
Yeah, it's a lot. I just with my folks, I have a lot of family on Facebook. A lot of those cousins that are in Houston were on Facebook. And don't get me wrong, I know them. I think I said something earlier that would like give you the idea that I don't really know them like that. I do, but it's just one of those things when we see each other. It's like we pick up where we left off. My family is not the type that even my close knit family, we don't call each other every day. Like we don't talk every day. We send text messages, and we're in a group chat. My brothers and my mom and dad were all in a group chat, but that like calling every day, what you doing? Like we're not great with the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say we're terrible, but we just don't need the phone. Like we don't do the phone, and we also don't do the thing of, well, yeah, like, we ain't heard from you, where you been? Yeah, like you don't love it. We don't do that. So that's why with friends, I'm always thrown off when folks hit me with, because I'm like, my mama don't do that. Like my grandmother, she doesn't do that. Right. So you know, it doesn't click for me in that way.
So as it relates to like our chosen family, we can relate to the flag in some shape, form, or fashion. I am an ally.
Huh? I mean, we support each other. I guess that's
ally to the straight.
Ally to the straight community.
As it relates to chosen families, what is everybody's perception and or like what is your breakdown of it? Like how far down the tree do you allow?
So I have chosen family. I don't have a gay mother.
Okay.
I have someone that I do refer to as a father. I don't really consider him a gay father, but I mean, he's a gay father. I have not been generous with letting people call me their child at all throughout the years, because I think earlier on in my earlier ballroom career, there was a legend, or I don't remember. That's it right there. I don't remember you. He was from up north, and he tried. I had won that particular night. And he did not. I didn't like his energy with me. He was very. I felt like he was really rude, and I won that night. And he, in front of a group of people, tried to claim me as his child, and at that moment, I knew, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not settling for that. And I corrected him in front of everybody, which is why I don't remember you.
You know what though? That makes me like, even when we're talking about like, because I know you're from Nebraska or whatever, and I know where.
That's quite disrespectful.
I know you're from the corn state where they get corned whole.
I think it's a little.
See, now that's disrespect. I know you're from Nebraska,
Okay.
but I understand that your father may be from a deeper, by being from Chicago, right?
Mhm.
So it's like the difference. Then how you said that your family is. Now I can see the difference in people's wanting a bigger chosen family because they're used to being in a big family versus people is like, I kind of select who is my chosen family, but what you're just saying.
Yeah.
Because with me, like I said, it was 8 of us. I can have a big family.
I mean,
It was like 8 from one woman. So imagine if you add all that up with all them cousins, it's easy for me to have a big, huge gay family because that's what I'm used to.
yeah. I have one official gay child. I think there are some others out there that
How did that come about, though?
Huh?
How did that come about?
We just got close. And then we looked out for each other. I won't say because where I may have done something, he did something for me too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it was an instant connection. Like I instantly felt protective over him, and I think he felt that. And it wasn't so much I'm trying to be your mama or you can be my child. It wasn't so much that. It was just we bonded in a way where it flowed like that.
Mm.
And so it wasn't even because I think what happened, I actually kind of found out that I was his mother, not because I said I was, but because he was asked and he pointed at me, and I was like, okay, that's sweet, and it made me feel good.
So you got ambushed.
You was chosen.
I was chosen. I was
Get
chosen.
railroaded like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been railroaded.
So AJ, what is your what are your limitations, or how far down the tree do you go?
With that chosen.
I don't have any kids, so I treat it the same way as I would treat my biological family, though. I will say that. So, like, I have a mother, I have a father, siblings, I have a grands, but, like, after that, well, nieces and nephews too, but I don't go outside of that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Mm.
What the hell? Everybody looked at me and stopped.
What was the heavy?
I was waiting. I was
That's your
actually-
time. Your perspective.
I was waiting.
Where do you go? Where do you stop?
I mean, I'm the beginning of a lot. Okay. Now I can't say by me coming out so late, I didn't need that type of guidance and stuff when it comes down to like being, because I had already been out. My life was different. I lived a whole double life. No, I was not DL. I was don't ask, don't tell. So I had to live a double life in order to keep my career, right? So when I did see someone that I considered could be a father figure, it had to be the person that was over everything. And that was Shamar Dupree. And when I had came back to Dallas, I seen that Shamar at the drop of the dime at that time could take a whole community, make them move from one club to a whole nother club the next week, to the point to where they don't have any more business because Shamar said, we are not going there that week. So I was like, that's a lot of influence over a whole community. So I told him, kind of like, you my dad. And he was like, well, I guess so. So, but with him, I didn't realize how many kids he had. So, these motherfuckers moved from Dallas to Atlanta. So I don't recognize y'all. I mean, I know that you're Shamar's child. I may call you brother, but you're not like Dior. Me, Dior, Preston, the people that I was with here under Shamar Stanley. All of us, we were still here. We seen each other. We built a relationship. If it's outside the few circles of Shamar kids, I really don't care. So then when it starts with me, those are the only one of my brothers and sisters that I really recognize, right? But when it comes to me going down, I look at it like this. The kids that I recognize as my children, because when you get into ballroom, outside of being in the gay scene, when you get in the ballroom, you become the father of many because of your last name. You know what I'm saying? Which, pretty sure y'all might start talking about this. Somebody could be in a whole other house, and you start talking to them and everything, like a little blah, blah. Next thing you know, you wake up one morning, they're in your house, right? And you're the father of that immediate. Now everybody like, oh, you fucking on your children. No.
Oh.
Yeah, but we
But we gonna get to that. But I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
but I don't. That's a ballroom thing. But as in my gay children, I recognize who if my gay children, I recognize them as my children, and I recognize their children. Ugh. That's.
Is it right?
I love the word grands because it doesn't give paw. Granddaddy, like Tiffany juices. Hey, paw. I'm not a fucking paw. But I recognize them.
What's that?
But like I do recognize. I recognize those grands. If you call me grands, you must be XaPariis, Deshaun, or AJ. Like you literally have to be one of my actual gay children. Not you might. No, I'm talking about cry, laugh. I'm popping up over your house. You
Real
walking right through my door. We don't knock. No, that kind of connection. You know what I'm saying? Outside of a ballroom thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For me, it's very much so. Bitch, I got me.
How many kids do you have? What's right there?
I got me.
How many kids do you have? All right.
So where I stop in the whole family tree is I keep it very surface level. It's like my gay parents and my gay kids.
How many do you have?
That's it. I don't do like the nieces, the nephews. I really don't like people calling me grands. Honestly, like that's not my thing.
Okay.
And I only say that because again, like as when it comes out as like our chosen family, I think to be fair, it has to work on both sides. Like it can't just be a one-sided thing. Like if I choose to be my parent, we both mutually have to agree on the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like sometimes in our community, I mean y'all community, sometimes in the community,
I just got other.
in the community, like the lines definitely get blurred a lot, and like for me, I don't know. I just like to keep it simple. Like when my first chosen experience was with my gay grandmother / mother, S1E1. Shout out to you. She was like my first chosen parent because of like her influence within the pageantry circuit.
Okay.
And so her child, which is Rio, which ended up being my gay dad, again, chose me to be his child too. So at this point, I'm like, well, what do y'all want to, I don't understand like what's going on, but it's enough for me to go around, I guess, you know, but the dynamics, I've never called Rio my brother.
Okay.
I've always just addressed him as my father. Whereas with Adicia, I've addressed her on both spectrums, like, you know, mother or grandmother. So I feel like, it has to be a very much so mutual thing. Like Jrock is my chosen father, and then Armani is like my chosen mother.
How did that happen? Did you just tell him? Or
How did
like,
that happen? So we're gonna take a short commercial break right now. No, so basically, when me and Jrock came into acquaintances, I was in a relationship at the time, living a very hard knock life, sleeping from couch to post, and Jrock was just always the person who literally was there. Like, you know, if you need something, just call me. If you need some food, call me. What y'all need, call me. You know, and again, it was never just conversations around what the relationship we were developing. He was just being his genuine self. And so I think we basically tied the knot when I officially moved to Dallas. And how it happened was, I don't want to seem traumatic, but I was living in Arkansas at the moment, and something ended up happening with me and my mother where I had to basically come abruptly and move to Dallas. And so I remember sitting outside on the stairs, I was just crying like, Lord, why does this just keep happening to me? Like, Jesus, like, when is life going to turn around? And I remember he came home from work and I was like, I need to talk to you about something. He was like, what is it? It took me so long to get out. He was like, stay with the fucking chest. And I'm like, I don't have anywhere to live. I don't know what I'm going to do. He was like, boy, shut the hell up. You okay? I got you. And then
That's amazing.
that was like all she wrote.
I love that. Not that you went through that, but I just love that somebody was there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people aren't. And that's what a lot of our community needs. We need a lot more.
I think about a lot of people don't be realizing because they be sitting up here. Is you crying on the fucking
Yeah.
goddamn podcast?
Look, I tried to play it off.
That's right.
You know what's funny? I thought I saw his eyes watering up, but I was like, maybe not. The light's a little bright.
That's what I meant about, but that's what I meant about real gay kids.
Yeah.
Because it has some type of emotion tied behind it, or we went through things in our lives and they make it emotional attachment. To where, when, like I said, laugh, cry, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your deepest inner things you can say, if I tell this to my dad, it's,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is, but a lot of people don't be realizing that when you're out here and you start like me being in the military and stuff like that, and you know, I have a big family. But when I came out, it's kind of hard to be like with that Church of God in Christ, going to church from this, although I feel like they have accepted me now, it's not a full acceptance. So you find yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
And you just out here in this community and stuff like that, and everybody looking to you because you know you already got your shit together and all this kind of. I tend to get the kids that, like, I can help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, I was, what? Yeah, I know. I'll be right back. Come help me get these groceries out of the car. Got that from my grandma. What?
Yeah.
And I know they used to be like, what the fuck? Don't worry about it. Just get it. Because I know if I come see y'all, I'm going to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? But really, I just want to put food in there. And I seen some shit in the community that really pissed me off. And the pillar to post and sleeping from house to house was XaPariis. And at that time, you know, at that time was, I didn't like people saying, I'm going to help you, but for other gains.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you don't give them what they want, whether it don't even have to be a set or anything. Maybe you want somebody to be a maid in your house or something like that. Yeah. Whatever it is that you thought you was about to get out of this versus helping me find some stability and then get like a job or get on my feet. I don't have to be here long or whatever. I didn't like that. So when they had moved to Mo City and they got their own stuff, I felt obligated because I was like, I'll never forget I had brought them some groceries one time to somebody else's house. And they had the nerve to try to eat they shit. But when they went to go, oh, don't touch my, are you fucking serious? I don't like nobody to live in that type of, if you come live with me, the refrigerator is yours, just don't touch my outshine bars.
What?
This is not a paid commercial.
I'm just saying, don't touch my outshine. You can eat everything in this house. Why are you touching my outshines, right? But my thing is, it was once I seen that, they don't know that I choose people to say my kids are the people that I seen something in them that would help me. Yeah. And when I say help me, I'm feeding off of them. And it's like XaPariis was like this when everybody sees XaPariis now. So XaPariis was a free spirit. Was like a free spirit, and then like the dancing and all this kind of stuff and everything. And it was something to see somebody dancing and doing all this kind of stuff. But I knew that when all this is over with, you trying to survive. But nobody in the scene noticed. Yeah. Everybody passing judgment on you, casting this and that. Oh, you like it. You don't know that I'm out here laughing and I done entertained you. I entertained you. I hope I got enough money tonight. I got it. You see what I'm saying? So that's and that was a strength that I was like, that's real strength. So I fed off of that. You see what I'm saying? So when she was like, where to go? Who the fuck is you talking to, bitch? I got a whole nother room. Like, there you go, you can have it. So I think that's like, it happened like that with a lot of my kids. And my kids will tell you, I've had a lot of kids come to me, they'll have their own. But I've always felt like this, who you gonna go to when you fall on your ass?
See, I'm so nervous to get a lot of kids because of that. Like, I know I'll be willing to like show up and get up in the middle of the night if you broke down on the side of the road or whatever, right? But I also feel like it's not one of those things where I'm going out like, I want you, come here. Like, you know, it's not like you stop it. It's like, you're cute, you know,
Right,
you remind me.
yeah.
Even if you kind of, well, not so much, because there are some people that I've seen before, and I'm just like, you remind me so much of a younger me. Like,
But that's just it.
huh?
I said, but that's just it, or
Sometimes I leave it there because I also don't. I also have to acknowledge where I am. It's only so much that I can do and only so much that I can give. Like, honestly, I still have not just my chosen family, but I also have my real family. And again, I brought up the thing about calling, talking on the phone often. Like, those lines of communication, that's a lot to give out. And also with my work, that's a lot given out. It's way more therapy than it is just rearranging flowers and sofas. Like, it's a lot more. You're building connections with people, and you have to ask them, like, how is your family?
Right.
Like, do the kids play in here? Like, does your husband, like, you have to ask those questions. And a lot of times I just want to go home and just be by myself, or just shut up have a minute to shut up. So I guess finding the balance between wanting to, yes, build connections. I won't so much say, I'll say a family, but I don't want the assumption to be that I want a plethora of kids. Right. But there is a part of me that's like, I want to build this huge family with this community because I do love this community. There's also another part of me like, you need to reel that shit in a little bit. It's only so much of you that you can show up for, that you can be available for, that you can provide as well. It's only so much. So,
Yeah. AJ, what about you? What was your experience like choosing your chosen family?
Something like what Jrock said. I feel like, in a sense, you end up choosing each other. And so Jrock and I, we work together here at UB. Shout out to United Black Element.
Shout out
to the United Black Element.
the Black Element.
The Black
BLLUMENT. But nah. Bow. But when it came down to it, me and Jrock worked together. And so we sat together every day, had conversations, and they were so meaningful. And I'm sorry, I had to. This is my year that I'm trying to think of.
I was gonna say, you about to cry too?
She's trying to compete.
Go ahead.
I'm like, what? And she turned around like, damn, you got, you changed your lives over here.
But I do understand because I can say like with the stories that I've heard from Jrock's kids that I do know, which are only two others, XaPariis and Deshaun and
That's me.
Who did I meet in New Orleans?
You don't know your own friends?
I don't know. I just met her.
What we talk about? Okay, we
I
talk
just
about
met
family and this
I,
and that.
you know,
like,
she lives in Louisiana,
twice
but I met her. Chloe, that's her name. But anyways, we just chose each other. And since Jrock asked me, do you have a father? I said, no. I was like, you? And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, okay. So from then on, we started building a connection. I could say like, there was a time that I was going through, like experiencing a hardship, and the person that I was dealing with at that time went into a panic and called Jrock without me knowing. And so next thing you know, I fell back asleep, but Jrock was calling me. He called me like 5 times. And so when I finally got the call, he was like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm asleep. He was like, that's not what I'm asking you. Are you okay? And so when I sat down and had to really like, damn, I gotta tell him. So I was just like, okay. So when I opened up and told him like what was wrong, it made me feel like that was really my dad in that moment, because for those that don't know, me and my biological father have had a strenuous like relationship growing up. So
shout out to Mr. Walker.
Shout outs to Mr. Walker. No shade.
He always knew what he was talking about.
But when it came down to it, me and my biological dad, we haven't had the best relationship with me growing up. It was always on and off, or it was really spotty. So when Jrock showed up for me in that moment, that's something that I've always just wanted from a father figure. Not saying that my dad hasn't, but just for another man who lives the same life that I do, or that has the same shared experiences, for him to show up for me in that moment, it really did touch me in a way that I was just like, okay, now this is really my daddy. Like, he came, he picked me up that day. He actually spent the whole day with me after a shift of work. So I was just like, oh shit, okay. My daddy really is here. Now, I did cry all day that day, but he still was here to make sure like I was just okay. So that's how that happened. And then with my mama Kelly, gorgeous coochie, shout out to you, ma.
Hey, Kelly.
It's the same thing. When I look, my thing about chosen family is I wanted to relate to my biological family in a sense, but I also want to give it like a new experience in a sense, or I wanted to reimagine it in the way that I would like it to be. So with Kelly, my way, I loved. If y'all know my mama, y'all know she is full of energy. She is the life of the party. She's ready to have a good time anywhere at any time. So I was like, okay, I love that. That's like the feminine energy that I'm looking for, and so that's what she gave me.
Okay. So as it relates to like ballroom, I know that a lot of times
Hold on, can we clarify something? Because clarity is our friend. And I don't like people saying you said this in the beginning and then AJ said that, so that was a lie. I said it has to be a connection. Like she said, you don't go around saying, you my kid, you my child. So it kind of sounded like I said, you're my child. It didn't go like that. See, I don't have ADHD. I remember everything I say. What he's saying is, reason why I asked him is because, like he said, daily we were having so many real conversations right next to each other every day with my happy light. But we was having so many conversations, I knew that's what he felt. So I proposed a question and he said, you, yes. Because I knew that's what, I ain't not just saying, he already got kids, I don't know. I already knew that was happening from just from the conversations. People call me the Oracle for a reason. They think I be knowing everything. No, it's not that I know everything. It's just that things that lead up to it, when I start piecing things together, I'm not an Oracle. It's too many people that all in the back. Like, I didn't understand what was the Kikis in the background and the camera crews and all this stuff.
It was the ready.
No, you gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Taurus all the time. But anyways, that's where it came from, because I knew that I was like, you know, we ain't gonna talk about when they let me go, but
oh my Lord.
that's another
episode.
That's
So
a
as
whole
it
other
relates
episode.
to ballroom, I know that a lot of times in the community we get the lines kind of blurred. So like you being someone who is also making a return back to ballroom, you came out in a time where like ballroom was a lot different than it is today. When you first came in, can you recall like what your understanding of titles within ballroom meant, and if they have changed to you, what is your new understanding?
I think it was pretty simple and just kind of like right there. It's just if you were the leader of the house, and that's just what you were to do. You were to lead the house, and that meant we could go to you. We could ask for advice, critiques, and your ability to lead and take us somewhere. I didn't really get, again, kind of going back. There was a little bit of a defense because when I came out, I was approached by people that at work. When I moved here, it seemed like there were quite a few people who wanted to take claim to either work that I did in my professional life, or and then when I got into the ballroom scene, there was of course coming out. I didn't really come out as a 007. I came out as a juicy because Kimbella, hey girl.
Shout out to Kimbella.
She introduced me to Dion, and through that I met Chia and my juicy family now. But I think when my first time going to Marty's, hey, what's up, Marty's?
Shout out to the headquarters.
Shout out to the headquarters. There were quite a few people who didn't know that I was a juicy, and so I was approached about being in their houses, which I appreciate. But I don't know. I think my understanding of a leader was just that. I didn't think of them as parental figures, though. I didn't think of, because Gia was, I believe, at the time, forgive me if I'm wrong, because that just goes to kind of show how much attention I paid to, because what I was searching for when I came I had just moved back to Dallas. I was renovating my place, and COVID had just hit. And I didn't have any friends here. I moved here by myself. I don't have any family here. So I was looking at, is this a body of people that I'm comfortable with? Because where I may accept and be open to getting to know new things and new people, are they willing to do the same for me?
Right.
And so after examining that, I didn't look at the ballroom piece. And even now, and I still say this, like, my connection to ballroom is y'all. Like, I do this and I to them. Yeah, it's them. Well, actually, not just them anymore though, because I have a relationship with y'all. So, but the core of it, if we're talking about the actual competition of it, then yeah, it is because of them. That's what we have that's the one thing we all have in common, that we do well together. I said well. Shout out to Juicy.
Shout out to the House of Juice.
Yeah, but I was looking at our actual personal connect, because honestly, I haven't lost a single friend in my, there's one person that I can say, okay, we're not friends anymore. I have, that's not to say every childhood friend I talk to on the daily, but we're also still cool and we communicate well when we do talk. And so I'm not going to go to the extent and say, oh, I take my friendships so I do take them seriously, but I just look for a natural flow.
Right.
I don't try to force anything. I don't try to make something that it's not. If we don't connect on a deep level, we just don't connect on a deep level, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
What's your
I like
title?
that.
What's your title on the House of Juicy?
I am Gulf Coast godmother.
The godmother.
Yeah.
And so I think it's what's important for the viewers to understand about you guys' community is that in the ballroom scene,
I love it again. Like,
in the ballroom scene, it is a competition based.
it's so funny. You were the first person I saw in the community when I walked through the door.
Were you sure it was me?
Yeah, you were on the mic. I said, "Who is that with all this bold?"
What was their name?
Blue hair.
Huh? Was it blue?
It was blue.
It was blue, and it was this long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got my life, but okay.
Thank
You sure that's not?
mistaken.
Oh, damn, you didn't want. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so in their scene, what it looks like is that they have houses comprised of individuals
Oh
that
damn,
come
you don't know
together.
nothing about the community.
I mean, I read about it in Pose. And
Aren't you a founder?
What?
Are you a founder?
I think y'all are really confusing me with somebody.
You know what? It's Harry's in blue.
This is Nicholas. I forgot.
Who?
Nicholas.
Who is also XaPariis from the hit show.
Where are the cameras?
The legendary Max.
Bitch, am I outside? Because when I got the call to...
One day boy, the next day cunt.
No, but seriously, so in the ballroom scene, we all compete under houses, and so the houses are ran and directed by positions. These positions have titles such as mother, father, godmother, prince, princess. So I feel like in understanding that, we now have come to an area in the culture where sometimes those connections bleed over to chosen families. Has anybody ever had that type of situation happen to them where like your ballroom connection or establishment in the ballroom kind of became a real life thing?
Yeah, the Juices are my family. Even the scene in a lot of ways with a lot of people. Like I was mentioning how when at the family reunions, when I get there and I go through the gate, I'm like, we're all family. It feels like cousins. But that's just my approach to it.
Okay. So as it relates to our raw conversation, ancestry, I know it's like a pearl clutcher. However, we do know that, we do a history. These things are not, brand new. And obviously, because of how the world was designed and set up back in the day, these things were more common. Like, what is your take as far as like that?
Blood families or ballroom families?
Blood family first.
It's weird.
Weird.
And to me, it's weird. I don't have the ability to be. I don't care. I can acknowledge, like, my brother is a handsome man. Both my brothers are really good looking. They're really good looking men, but it don't go no further.
Mm-hmm.
I can say the same thing about my cousins. Like, I can look at them like, okay, good. Good for you. It's the same. I look at that as like the same compliment I'm giving an outfit. Like, you look nice. But to go further and
Like you're sexy or like you're fine.
yeah, I don't have what it takes, thank God, to be able to do that and see beyond. You're a nice looking person.
Yeah.
And that's where it stops for me. I think it's pretty I'm a little curious about the psychological, what that looks like on a
spectrum.
yeah, on a, like, I would love to talk to a professional about what kind of, that's curious to me.
Mm. So as it relates to like the chosen family, like where does your opinion lie?
Okay. It's a little different.
We like different here.
It's a little different. Because I think some of these situations are a little unfair. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, where I am in Juicy with with the Gulf Coast period, I'm not able to see anybody like that, right? But if I meet someone from out of town, I didn't know you were a Juicy. You came from New York, I did not know like you were a Juicy, because I'm not one that actually just thoroughly, I probably shouldn't say this on film, but I don't study Ballroom and who's who like that to know who everyone is. And so if we're out, or if you come over and I just so happen to click and vibe with you, and then let's say, I don't know, Jrock walk over and be like, oh, that's your brother. Part of me is like, so? Like, I just, like, not necessarily so to being my brother. I'm going to eliminate that whole brother thing. Because I didn't, like, it's just, I think our community, being understood, one, is already so difficult. Just without the ballroom scene. And then you add, or you tell someone, hey, I participate in this particular community, especially someone like myself that's, not to open this door, but that is usually the men that are attracted to me still want some level of like privacy and discretion, and don't entertain all of that. And I usually don't end up entertaining them. But to have someone a part of your community that understands where you are and what your interests are and want to participate in that with you, and then to have someone come and say, oh no, you can't, because that's your what you say, your third cousin removed. I'm like, I think that's just really unfair. But I will say, where I do begin to get traditional about it is when you are walking around. This is my brother, this is my cousin, this is my daddy, or this is my mama, and you're celebrating that type of relationship in front of everyone, and then you accidentally get outed for that. I think at that point it gets a little strange, because I like bold people.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm like, if you're gonna do a thing, you better do it. And if this is who you're with, and this is who you want to be with, I think even being a part of this community and being a part of these families, I can break that up and say, oh no, this is not my brother. We share this together. Like, we like Ballroom together, and we like this house together. But this is not my brother. This is my man. Since we want to make it family, this is about to be my husband. So I just think when it's situations that are not close knit and you meet somebody organically, I think it does get interesting when you've been around them for a while. Mm-hmm. I still hold true to my opinion about it. Like, if y'all never saw each other like that, and you tried to stick to the norm of, and y'all gonna call me weird, do something, then you try to stick to, I think sometimes people do try to stick to, oh, we in the same house, and this my brother, and it feels weird to them. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that that's fair. Yeah. Because our community is already so limited with all the different traumas, with all the isolation between, are you top, bottom, are you feminine, are you masculine, are you fat? Are you slim? Are you fit? Are you like, it's so much. And then to finally, I think it's so unfair in a lot of ways. But I think, again, I will stand true to, if you've been around celebrating that this is my brother, this is my daddy, this is daddy. Like, I think that is
right.
I think that's when it gets weird. I think that's when it actually begins to get where I get, I'm like, you're on your own with that one, babe. Like, you set yourself up.
Yeah.
You did, because I can control. If I meet a Jew, I'm gonna tell y'all now, if I meet a Jew that's from a different region, because like I say, at this point for the Gulf Coast, there is no, I can't do it. I don't have it. It's the same as my cousins. I can't do it. But if I meet a Jew from New York,
It's getting wet.
and we just, it works, and we like each other, and we respect each other.
Yeah.
Y'all not finna stop me from getting what I want.
Yeah.
Like, period. Y'all not finna interfere with something that could be what I prayed for. What I like. I mean, no shade. Like, y'all know I'm not.
Manifested this man.
I'm manifesting this man, and I'm gonna let y'all stop me.
Okay.
Y'all not that powerful.
Yeah.
Like, girl, no.
I agree. I think that right, like in our culture, we definitely usher in a traditional way of like trying to put everybody in a box. Like
Yeah.
I feel like in one of my situations, shout out to Justin,
Whoever you are, shout out.
the overall Prince of the House of Nike.
Oh shit.
Hot and
So,
spicy.
The new Gulf Coast Prince of the House of Lineman.
Workout.
So me and Justin were actually we met in high school. So when he was coming as a freshman, I was a junior. And so by the time our senior year I'm talking about our senior, but by the time my senior year came about, like he had started expressing interest in me, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Fast forward to like when he finally graduated out of high school, like keep in mind, I've now been in the scene for like 2 years myself, and he comes into the scene, that dynamic was no longer there. And now it's more so of I'm more of a parental figure for him, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, a lot of times, like, to your case in point, people would just see it and just perceive it to be like, oh, yeah, I've always had this dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be feeling like, again, which is why I'm not quick to like jump into throwing labels on people, because again, if we establish something, who knows if the relationship is going to be you being my mother or I'm being your brother? Who knows that? Why not just get to know somebody and see what it's going to be? Regardless if we're in the same establishment, yeah, we're all house kids, but that's just the label.
I do think it takes a certain level of discernment, though, to be able to really understand what the connection is, though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, a lot of us are searching for an outlet for love. And that love doesn't necessarily mean romantic. It could mean I want just another person that I can be free with and be myself with and love on and they can love on me too. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be romantic, but I think a lot of times people, misunderstand it. Sometimes I do think I don't want to say a lot of times, I think sometimes people can misunderstand what's supposed to be I don't know if you truly, this is what you said, but where it should be a brotherly or a sisterly love and I don't want to contradict myself, but I think with this community, understanding at least your connections with your people is important.
Yeah.
Because you can end up in a situation where you are abused because somebody will see that, oh, damn, you just need to be loved on. And they'll start out doing that. And then before you know it, it is a situation where they're taking advantage of you, be it sexually, financially, or making a fucking house slave out of you.
But on the reverse side of that, it's not that it's unnatural, because if you study the art of if you study interpersonal communication, they tell you that, why y'all looking at the cameras and stuff? Girl, I do got a brain. But anyways, when you study interpersonal communications, they tell you, not only in the gay community, but in life, period, it is natural to be attracted to someone. Mm-hmm. It is natural to be sexually attracted to someone. Mm-hmm. You might even go and even do the act, to only find out later that this is not what that was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, but we are so freaking connected, but that was not what that was. You see what I'm saying? And then you end up, and then that's why you have these relationships of, why you didn't tell me that such and such that you had slept with them? Because that was not even that. And how did that even get out or whatever? You know what I'm saying? That
I remember this one time me and Darius had an argument because he had found out about that, and he was like, "Well, why the fuck is it?" Like,
because
I
it
don't see
wasn't.
why that was even important because that was like years ago.
And it wasn't that, but like they tell you, like I tell you, it's psychiatrists. Y'all can research it yourself. It is just like you're a human.
Mm-hmm.
That you're a human. If you see somebody attractive, they're attractive. If y'all start talking, that's why. And y'all will probably get into that in another show when it comes down to relationships. But it goes deeper because that's why relationships are fucked up now. You see what I'm saying? They want to jump right into something versus knowing that to find someone out, you may find out that, you know what? You are the best friend I could be. And what people say, oh, I just got broed. At least respect that I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Instead of just
Because I could have ghosted you.
because
Shit.
because
But that's not true.
Yeah.
so my
When it
thing
comes
is
to-
when you get, I don't feel bad by getting what they used to say broed. You see what I'm saying? And
Friend
it's,
zone.
but friend zoned. Because you know what? I can respect that. Why? Because you got some people that don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And they keep it going. And it ends with the, well, fuck you, bitch, blah, blah, blah. If y'all would have just knew that y'all knew y'all wasn't meant for each other.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of people are out here searching for that love and that connection and that a relationship of some sort. Because broken home, maybe I hate using the term broken home, but that's what it is. Friendships that didn't make it, relationships that didn't make it, and then that's why when we've talked before, I referred to ballroom or going to a ball is like, okay, like, well, on Marty, when we go to Marty's or what y'all call it?
The headquarters.
The headquarters. I'd be like, y'all.
Shout out to Marty's.
Shout out to Marty's.
Live.
Shout out to the headquarters. I refer to it as Bible study. Like, it's a place where folks can go.
She literally comes in a group and say, anybody going to Bible study tonight?
Yeah, I do, and I be the main one missing it.
We can keep you in our prayers.
Okay. But yeah, like it's relationships and family is really important in this scene. Not just down the Gulf Coast, but in ballroom, in the gay community, period. Because so many people don't have homes. And I'm not talking about like brick and mortar, I'm talking about homes within other people, within the people that they would like to have homes with, like parents, grandmothers. For the longest, I told you, I really just realized I only really have a connection with one side of my family, and that's my mom's family. And that stops at a particular point. My dad's family, that's estranged. My father's family, that's estranged. Like, and I'm here, but I met wonderful people. I've met y'all, and y'all have become family, which is why we sing.
Oh, yeah. So this has been a great episode. We wanted to say thank you so much, Milan, for joining us.
Thank you.
Could you just tell our viewers where they can find you on social media platforms?
So on Instagram, you can find me at the Milan Gray. On Facebook, you can find me at Milan Gray.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, are there any last remarks from anybody?
No.
The word is over, bitch.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank y'all for having me. I
It's such a pleasure
appreciate
for
it.
real. Thank you so much for being so genuine.
So for more content like this, make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe to the Tender Shop Network. And don't forget to hit the notification bell at the top of your screen so that you're notified each and every time we go live and or post content on the network. Until next time.